Yeah, my name is Allison Yearwood. I live on Treaty 1. I'm the executive director of Plug-in ICA. I am an auntie to many young people in the community and all over the world because my friends decided to have many children and I did not choose to have many children, but I love sharing their lives, sharing their journey, sharing what I'm doing in the world and letting them know that you can be a crazy, wild woman and still have fun, still love people, still do good things, try to do good things, try to even do better things. And yeah, I just love young energy and I love old energy. Well, as a stolen person on stolen land, I do a lot of work reaching across to my Indigenous friends and family on this land. And I actually try to do good work in what I do. And I try to educate, I try to learn, I try to listen more than I talk. I try to do the right thing. So now that I actually have been told, have been distilled, have been educated in the right way to do things, I feel the respectability to kind of share how to do the right things. So I think in a lot of ways, I have the influence and I have the ear of a lot of younger people to kind of show what the right ways look like and how they feel like and show how making a mistake is really not that bad. I think it's really nice to be out there and showing folks that you can do things on your own terms, that when you make a mistake, when you falter, when you learn the better way or maybe the way to do less harm, you can share that. And I like sharing those moments. I like sharing when I kind of do the wrong thing, but mess up in the right way and just kind of get called in because we're calling each other out left, right, and center. And I think one of the big things that I'm doing is calling people in. Like, I'm a gentle, soft person in some ways, and I'm a loud, wild person in other ways. And I think that kind of polarity is that what kind of invites people in and kind of says, ooh, how can I sit with you and kind of learn and excite with you? And that's what I feel I'm doing with folks. And BIPOC folks don't do the things that the people want them to do it. We're not trained in the way that has been, we're trained in the way that we're gonna do it in. And I think a really great way is influencing and helping and supporting those people who are doing it in their own ways and letting them know it's okay to do it in your own way, but do it in a least harmful way as well. Like making sure we're kind of countering some of those, harmful bits, because we've all learned some of those harmful bits. I think it's really important to self-determine how you want to show up, because you want to show up the way that you feel comfortable, that you feel safe. And I think you need to be able to say how you feel safe, because how else can people support you or love you if you don't tell them or educate them on how to love them? So when I come into these spaces, I come in the way that I am, as complex, as difficult, as challenging as I am, because the best way to teach you how to make me safe, to make me feel like I'm going to be the person that I want to be in this space, so that I can be the best person that I want to be in this space and represent who I am in this space, is by letting you make me feel safe. So I have to be who I am, and you're gonna bend, you're gonna evolve, you're gonna shape how you're going to learn how to be a better person, better institution, just a better organization. The more that I stand in my own truth, the more that I'm safe in my own truth, the more that I don't reflect what you want me to be, but I reflect who I am to you, is the best way that we can kind of have that, ebb and flow of a relationship. So the less I change myself to make you more comfortable is actually the best way that I can show up and represent myself in these spaces. Image reclamation for me is an interesting one, because even though I can show up as a Black woman, I also authentically am ethnically Latinx. I'm also European. So image representation is so complex now, because if I'm all of these complex identities, how do they show up together? How do they show up interlaced or intersect with each other, but authentically with each other? Because the world isn't ready for the complexity of a person who is Latinx and Black and, all of those beautiful and complex and great things. We're not ready to have someone show up in all of those ways. But guess what? I'm not going to wait for you to have my image the way that you want my image. I'm actually going to show up. I'm going to show you how I am. And you're now going to have to unlearn how you want me to be, because I'm going to show up the way that I am, in the image that I am. And it's going to be hard because I'm not going to take on also the identity politics that other people are also feeling out. Because I'm so strong in who I am, I don't need to pick up who you are. So it's going to be a real kind of dance, I think, the next little while as we watch how BIPOC people show up. Because as a BIPOC leader, I'm not going to take on the identities that are offered to me. I'm taking on the identity I want. So my image representation is kind of really revolutionary because I'm not taking anything that has been given, and I'm actually telling them who I'm gonna be and how it's going to be. So I think it's actually kind of one of those testimonies of watch this space, because this is the space where the action's happening. So I think the future for BIPOC representation is kind of here, and it's kind of now, and it's kind of watch this space, because the space is ever evolving. And I think the one thing we can all do to kind of pay respect to that space is to be respectful to those of us who are growing and learning, because we're trying some stuff on and it might not always stick. I do think it's really important that Black, Indigenous, and people of color come together and uplift each other's voices. I think for so long we've been told to kind of gatekeep our own communities, when really we can kind of come together on our shared pain and actually go, so what is the history? What is the community? What is the culture that we want? We've had it put upon us. We've had it told what it's not going to be. We've had our own actually completely subjugated. But now we're here and we're all kind of coming together. We do have some really nasty points of convergence in our pain and in our colonization, but we all can come together and unlearn together, and we can unpack this pain together, and we can be each other's comfort together, and we can hold each other in ways that other folks can't hold us. And in that, we can really forge together, not necessarily a narrative that keeps us separated, but keeps us together, but special, because we are very special in our Blackness, in our indigeneity, in our, people of colorness. We are very special in those different ways, but we also are really special because we're hurt in a special way. But let's reauthor that together. And I think that's the real invitation, is that we can reauthor our future together.